Welcome to Edley's from Scratch. I'm Will Newman, my wife Catherine. We're the founders and owners of Edley's Barbecue.
We want y'all to know just a little bit more about us and see what it's like to live in this crazy restaurant life, but also get to know our family and the Edley's family that we've grown as well.
So this is our attempt to pull back the curtain for you to get a glimpse of what it's like in the day of life of Edley's, our team members, our guests. We hope you enjoy. We encourage feedback. You can find us all the social media networks. Let us know how we're doing and how we can be better. Thanks.
And hopefully we won't make idiots out of ourselves.
I'd love to hear, before we get into your experiences at Edley's, share a little bit about your background, where you're from, what you do in Nashville.
Okay. Well, I came to Nashville in 1982 to attend Belmont College at the time. Now it's university, but came up here, was in the music business program, and was kind of disenchanted about the music business. And a friend of mine said, you should get into real estate. And so I said, I never thought of that. So I kind of went through the process of interviewing with a national builder and got the job and sat here on site and started selling real estate. And I've been in the real estate business for like 33 years now. I'm the principal broker at Benchmark Realty's Midtown office, right. And been at that office, managing that office for about 7 years. And I still sell real estate as well. I love barbecue. And
where did you grow up?
Long story short, my father was in the military, so I traveled all over the world. I lived in the Philippines, Puerto Rico, Okinawa, California. They retired in Mississippi. That's where I went to high school, graduated, went to junior college there, and then came to Nashville to finish college.
When you were growing up in Mississippi, can you remember your first barbecue experience?
Not really then, but we was in the South, so we were eating, Southern food all the time when I was there. I think I really started getting into barbecue probably after I came to Nashville, really. I wasn't a big barbecue eater back then. I know we did do it, but my dad didn't do a lot of, grilling on the grill. I mean, he cooked and stuff, but it was never, it was burgers or things like that.
So in Nashville, when you were here, what was the, say mid-'80s, what was the barbecue scene like? Can you remember any of the
there was just a couple of, downtown, Jack's was one. I can't even really. There was not really. I wasn't even at that time really into barbecue that much. Then, I always loved barbecue, but I never really thought that much about it other than just eating it until I came to Edley's, and then started eating the wings.
And I do want to ask, how many times over the course of almost 8 years, we've almost been open 8 years, how many times do you feel like you have visited?
I probably around 450 to 500 times.
And why do you know that?
Because I keep everything in Quicken, and I went into the search, and it doesn't lie. And I was, but that's so I used to come like at least once a week.
Right. Yeah. And so why wings?
I never. It was really weird because when I came here the first time, I ordered I think I might have got the nachos first.
Right.
I can't remember exactly, but the first time I had the wings, I just thought they were the best wings that I'd ever eaten. And I think after learning obviously a little bit more about how you guys do it, the flash frying makes a huge difference.
Right.
Crisped up the skin, and the flavor was really, really good. And so that was what really drew me into the wings.
So when we do our wings right, can you describe in detail what our wings are like when we've done them right? Because we try, obviously our goal is to get
well,
it right.
I am the official
and
tester.
You're the standard bearer of our wings. Explain to us and to me how our wings should be.
Well, first of all, it's got to have the right crunch in the skin. I think that's the most important thing. The second thing is it can't be when it's tossed in the sauce, it can't be overwhelming. It's got to be just enough to coat it, but not where it's dripping off of it.
Okay.
And I think those are the two big things. Obviously, the flavor is great, the smoke flavor, but the crunch and not just being overwhelmed with sauce.
Any other things on the menu, Edley's menu, that you like to dabble in? I know you.
I love to eat. I have to watch carbs, but I love the nachos. I mean, I love the nachos. I think the tacos are probably some of the best in town. Obviously the brisket's good. I like to cook. Do a lot of barbecuing myself, so I get my take of a lot of barbecue at my house.
What do you like to smoke on it?
I usually do I'll do wings, but I'll do ribs. I love ribs.
What type of equipment do you have?
I just have a box smoker at my house.
Nice.
Yeah.
How long do you smoke your ribs?
Usually 3 to 4 hours. I got certified a couple years ago to be a judge in Memphis in May.
I want to talk more about that.
So I've gone, and a couple of times that I've gone to and see how the other people do it. So I'm playing with it a little bit right now. Sometimes they wrap them. I never wrap them. I typically like to just have my own rub, and then 30 minutes before I take them off, I'll put a little barbecue sauce on them just to keep them moist.
Do you do St. Louis style or
baby backs?
Baby backs.
Baby
Nice.
back guy. Yeah, absolutely.
So sometimes when I'm smoking ribs at home, I still love. It's the one thing I still smoke at home is ribs. It's just so fun. There's something about it. If it's Memorial Day, July 4th, or
football game weekend.
You have to have ribs.
Yeah.
And but what I have found is that on the wrapping in aluminum foil, with probably because there is a stall in the smoking process after it's reached an internal temp of 140, it doesn't take on any more smoke.
Right.
So if you wrap them in aluminum foil, it does two things. It helps finish it off a little bit quicker,
right?
But it also holds all that moisture
in, yes,
and all that moisture in it. It can get really, really tender. It comes almost like a convection, where it's steaming itself in there, and so you can get some really good flavor. So it's not going to be maybe as crisp,
right?
If you didn't do it the other way, but it's just a fun, different way. So I don't do it every time, but I do it more than half the time. I'll do that. What's your Edley's routine?
Well, it used to be when my daughter was really into the wings. We would come here on Thursday. I think it was Thursday night was the wing night, or Wednesday night. Whatever night was the wing night. We would come here and have dinner. Now I pretty much come at lunchtime.
Okay.
And it's lunch.
Sit at the bar.
It's great to sit at the bar or order from the bar because you miss the line.
Right.
Exactly. That's a great little tip for anybody who comes in and sees the lines at Edley's. Just go to the bar and order.
Yeah. Yeah, we want our regulars to know that.
Right,
they can
absolutely.
Come and like you said, it's quick. We have great bartenders.
Right.
We have full service.
Yes.
If you were to work a position, if you were to be a team member at Edley's, what would your role be?
Be the pit master.
You'd be the pit master?
Of course I would. Yeah, absolutely. I think I could do that.
I think you could too.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. I know we have a code here in Nashville when it comes to our friends, our others. Some people call them celebrities. They put on their pants just like we do, but they're in a different world. If you have any really cool experiences or sightings,
I do not. I wish I did, but I know that I think Taylor Swift came one time, and I missed her like by about an hour here.
Right. And
then I think Billy Gibbons comes here every once in a while.
Yes.
And Billy Gibbons was my first concert I ever went to. ZZ Top.
No kidding.
Long time ago.
Yes. Are you predominantly a 12 South? Have you been to?
Yes, I've been to all the other locations. I've been to the Sylvan Park and the one in East Nashville. Obviously, I live a couple blocks from here. It's in between my office and my home, so I pass by here every day, practically. And when I walk in the neighborhood, I smell the barbecue in the morning when I'm walking my dog.
That's awesome. Where, if you were to give advice for someone on their first visit to Edley's, what would that advice be?
Order from the bar if the line's long.
Right.
I would always recommend the wings. I think they're fantastic. The barbecue nachos are kind of different because you use the potatoes. And then, of course, if they're looking for a particular beer, I recommend the Jackalope Rompo because that's my favorite beer.
Let's. The other thing I skipped over that I want to go back to is that you are a certified barbecue competition for. Are you Memphis or are you Kansas City?
Memphis in May.
Memphis in May.
Yeah, I went down there.
Can you talk a little bit about the certification?
Yeah, I went down, saw it advertised, I think, on Facebook, and said become certified or become a judge at Memphis in May. So I went to Memphis for the Memphis in May organization in maybe October, November. It was a day-long class on how to judge, how to score, because the rules for Kansas City and Memphis are completely different. And so they told us, how to grade and the point system and how they use it all. And so once you do 2 years of judging, then you become certified. So now I'm certified.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So what makes, according to the Memphis standards, what makes great pork?
Well, their rule is that you're judging based on what you've had that day, not the best barbecue you've ever eaten in your life. So when you go, you're going to get 3 different. You're going to be in a ribs, a shoulder, or a whole hog. So I was in ribs. So you go, and obviously the presentation is going to be all score high. They've done this before, that type of thing. It's all going to look good. The appearance of the meat is going to look good, but it's going to really boil down to what it tastes like. And so you have different approaches, like I was talking earlier, and so you kind of make mental notes or notes on the back of your card about each group, things you like, or it's too sweet, or it's too dry, or whatever, and then you go back and you score on a 2 decimal point system. So you assume like 10.00 is the perfect score. So 9.98.
Oh, wow.
Would be
wow.
a high.
So we're getting
that,
incredibly.
If you get a 9.5, you're not even going to show up on any list. I got to give someone a 10 in ribs.
Did you know who it was later?
Oh, you can see. Yeah, I know.
So you know who it is.
I know who I'm judging, and I can see how they end up.
Oh, so you know? Okay. For some reason, I was always under the impression that you didn't know there was like some numeric system that.
You don't know until they take all the cards, because you're not the only one judging them.
Okay, so when you're right, so when you're tasting the rib, do you know whose rib it is at the time?
Oh yes. Now
you
you're talking blind. They have a blind as well, where every team will bring a box to the tent and they do blind, but on site is where.
So you're going to.
I'm going to 3 different places.
Got it. Okay.
And then I'm doing 3 of maybe 150 barbecue rib people, right? Because ribs are going to be the biggest, which is why they need the most judges. They're all going to have, I don't know exactly how many judges come to them, maybe 3 or 4, and then they're going to do a blind box. So they take all those scores and they put them in a calculator, and then they come up with the winner. And it's, like I said, if you get a 9.5, you're not even going to show up on a list. Right. It was very, very, very enlightening, and I look forward to doing it again.
Awesome. Can we find you on social media if we want to follow you?
Yes, I'm on, obviously Facebook as Mike Nichols or Mike Nichols Group, Benchmark Realty. I'm on Twitter, I think it's Living Nashville. Instagram is Mike Nichols Group. Just Google Mike Nichols Real Estate and you'll find me.
So I follow Mike on Instagram and really appreciate a lot the quotes you put on.
Oh, okay, thank you. I appreciate that. In fact, that's on my schedule to do today is my social media for the week.
Yeah, he does a really good job of motivational.
They're just motivational.
How would you describe maybe the theme of kind of?
Well, it's just kind of motivational or inspirational. I do them on Monday, Wednesdays, and Friday mornings at 6 o'clock. So if you're on Instagram or something, you see it, maybe change your day or pick up your day. I had someone reach out to me the other day and said, I really need to hear that this morning and stuff.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good.
It's
good and thoughtful, and it's as a self-employed entrepreneur, you got to find sources of motivation. It's
Absolutely.
It's not you have to keep adding to the well, because sometimes you have to pull from it, and you do a good job of adding to my well.
Thank you. I appreciate that. We all really do.
Yeah, it's great. So we'll end on some this or that.
Okay.
Bar or patio?
Bar.
Brisket or pork?
Brisket.
Chicken or turkey?
Chicken. Some of the best, by the way, chicken. The chicken is probably the moistest chicken I've ever had.
Right, and that's on the bone.
It's on the bone.
Yeah, you want it.
Absolutely.
If you want the best chicken, you order the half chicken. Don't have us pull it.
Right.
Eat it from the bone. It's amazing.
I did it one time pulled, and I definitely like it better on the bone.
Yeah,
sure.
you're leaving someone else to devices, and they think that the chicken breast is where they focus all their energy pulling, and then they don't pull the thigh and the leg as much as where all the good meat is.
Absolutely.
Friday or Saturday?
I would probably do Friday, and it's amazing to see just how you've been here since 2011. I've been coming here. The growth of obviously tourists are a big part of your business, and
Right.
I can always come to the bar and meet someone from, you know, Boston or Philadelphia or Australia. I mean,
Lots
wherever.
of, lots
It's
of
pretty
Australians
amazing.
coming
Pretty
to
amazing.
Nashville to us out.
Yeah. So it's really cool to kind of see how the tourists, and we still have the locals, but just to meet the new people coming in and getting the Edley's experience.
Very cool. Summer or winter?
Both.
Eat at home or eat out?
I should eat at home. I eat at home pretty regularly because I like to cook, but I do like to eat out if I don't, you know, just not having to do the dishes or anything like that.
I know the answer to this question, but spicy or mild?
I'm spicy.
So Mike is two-time defending champion of Edley's hot wing eating contest.
Correct.
What makes a good contestant? And can you give some tips, some of the competitors for, you know, if you're going to try to defend?
I'm not going to give them any of my tips. No.
I know a couple, and
it
I
was
won't share
weird.
them. I'll
Yeah,
let you share
I
them.
think you've done it 3 times. The first time I didn't enter, and then the second time I said I'm going to enter, and I think it was going to be down at Sevier Park and for the festival, and then it rained.
The weather,
so
got
it brought
rained
it in
out.
here, and that was the first time I
And
did
we
it.
Yeah, we did it on the patio out here.
Yeah, and I remember when I walked into the bar, the guy said he was the defending champion, and I'm like, okay, great, you know. And I asked him how many he had eaten. I think he said like 10 or something. I'm like, I got this. I practice every day when I come here to eat the wings. So the only thing I would suggest that you do is do some kind of antacid before you come here.
Right.
And the key is, after you win it, getting a bushwhacker. That's the absolute key. And the rest of the day will be fine.
That's awesome. How hot was it this last time?
It was pretty hot. The first time I did it, it wasn't that bad. It didn't. But this last time, it was. They were hot.
Did you wear gloves?
Yes, you have to wear gloves. Yeah.
That is-
And except my face was red. You know, you remember seeing
Yeah,
it.
it was weird.
Yeah, it was hot.
But so this is the trophy. It is.
Hopefully, my name will be on it one more
Mike,
time.
Mike Nichols, and it'll probably continue to be.
Hopefully.
Mike Nichols. Well, Mike, thanks so much for taking the time.
Thanks
to
for
do
having me.
this.
It's fun.
And you know, Edley's wouldn't be Edley's without, you know, great people and great guests and great personalities like yourself that bring so much to who we are, and just very appreciate you taking the time
My pleasure.
out to do this and
My
learn
pleasure.
more about you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And your background and learning, you know, kind of what makes Edley special. So
Cool.
thank you very much.
Very much. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks.